All right. What's going on? Whew. Appreciate everybody for coming through on our second, what we call a second bye week. Never heard of that before, but yet we are here. Shout out to everyone in the chat. What's going on? Beautiful Saturday to a beautiful Sunday. Happy Sunday. Indeed. Everybody come on in. You know, this is one of those days. This is a true Greg said it type of day. And anybody who kind of follow, they know why. They know why. You know why. For people who've been here from the beginning, you know, who's been here from the beginning? I think I started really doing like consistent buff content. Honestly, like maybe last July, August, inaugural season, what I call it. Coach Prime and the Buffs came in. I was with them with Jackson State. I supported them. I ran my mouth like some of every y'all do in the chat. What's going on? And y'all can be me one day, whatever that is, to whatever level you want to take it. I was a person who has a lot to say. Saw that I was pretty accurate, and I was like, I want to get out there and do it. And I finally did it when he came to Colorado. I didn't start immediately. I had stuff going on, and then here I am, a year in. It is what it is. So, what's going on make me reminisce. It really does. It's a humbling experience to be where we are. I feel like we could have been in a better position, but it just makes the story exciting, I guess. Makes people be more aware. Because we could have easily been just one loss. We could be ranked in the top 15 right now. It could be that. But the intensity and the fire and you got to do this, got to do that, it just wouldn't be the same, honestly. And it's just so much like Colorado. Because it could have easily been where, we'd be in second place already. Undefeated in the conference already. Pretty much in probably a more dangerous position. It's like, we are already there. The other teams are losing. People kind of get complacent. Fans included, right? So I'm thinking Colorado's in a good spot because they have to win. I felt like they had to win when we played against Kansas State. They didn't take it that way. But I do believe that Colorado has to win right now. It's in a must-win situation. And for a good thing. You're not just winning to make a bowl game. You already made your little bowl game. We ain't got to talk about that no more. It's over. I didn't never think that was cute because I feel like if you was doing what you need to do, you're going to get the bowl game anyway. I never had a goal to be a bowl game for the type of team Colorado is. And I want Colorado to see it for that. I can't convince y'all and all the fans to see it. People had low bars. Anybody who followed Greg said they would be 10-2. And that was the floor. Never said it was the ceiling. He said they can go undefeated. People laughed it off that they could win undefeated. Reality is they could have been close, if not. But now, them winning out as they have to, and they can do, will fall right at the floor I gave them. While everybody laughed and swore they know so much football and talk about the history and this and that. I'm telling you, this team, forget your history. Forget your history lesson. Forget what you say other programs had to do, because clearly the way things work, and where is anything in life right now works the way it has? That's how I know a person's not that wise. I seek to live wisdom. I mean, we can have football conversation all day, but I'm not going to give up my wisdom for the sake of a football head. You ain't got enough life wisdom and experience, maybe. I've lived long enough to have some experience. Now, I've been a young pup. And you can be old and call me young, but I ain't young to the young pup. The reality is, been around. Just like Coach Prime, been around. People question Coach Prime. Do he know how to build a football program? He's just a Hall of Famer who's been doing all this for a long time. Do he know how to pick a staff? Why did he pick that coordinator? You questioning somebody who's proven. You question somebody with so much invaluable experience to the point where you make it as a weakness. You made it a weakness. And what it's showing is people in this world are not wise. They can't see clearly. They can't see soberly. They only see what they think they see. And most of the time is what they heard everybody else say. And it's like groupthink. It's groupthink where they only repeat what the majority say. They let the majority lead them. People still foolishly believe that the majority can't lead you to the wrong place. It can happen. Majority can be wrong. Are they all brainwashed? Yes, they can. I refuse to be brainwashed. I want to see it for what it is. I'm actually grown and have my own mind for a reason. I'm not a grown kid. I don't need a bunch of other grown-ups to make me feel right or to make me feel like I'm on the right path, because I have the ability on my own, just like they should. So I bring all of this, me as a person, I bring that to this. That's what you get what Greg said it. You're not going to get what everybody else saying. And you can easily be misled by the crowd. I remember when Colorado set up there and they kind of had an iffy game, and then they, had a situation and they lost to Nebraska, and everybody was already on them from the week before, and then boom, they lost to Nebraska, and everybody was like, oh my goodness, they just not what they are. He was ready to write them off. Talking about last year. That's why I told you, let go of that crap in the offseason. Many of the supporters fell for that. The haters was already saying that. That's what they wanted to say. They waited all that time, and they still wait to be able to say that. But a supporter who keep their ear, it's dangerous not to have a mind or a mind of your own. To not have an ear for the right thing, and you just jump on. So everybody jumped on Colorado. And I said, you know what? Y'all want to throw it away the season prematurely. Oh, it's over. They ain't going to win another game. You repeated everything the hater said, as if the hater ain't said it all summer, all winter, all off season, all end of last season. This is, maybe y'all just gave me my inspiration, motivation. Y'all check back later. I ain't got to dig into that. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you listening to. Be careful who you listen to and their motive. You foolish enough to listen to somebody who clearly got a bias, who clearly got a motive. These people dog Colorado out left, right, all season long. Every fake story they could throw at them, they just try to just trip them up every chance they get. The players smart strapped up. They got guns. He making them go to rap concerts. They just were so bored during all season. They had to come up with garbage every second. He making them play Shadur song instead of the band song. They don't do the fight music. He praying. This is all they do. Attack. Yeah, you go on with the talking points of the people who clearly have shown that they hated him. I talked about the timing of the games, and you don't see the pattern. And you're dumb enough to say, they're just for money. Have they been dogging him out all season for money? You're going to tell me, for the sake of his character and his family and his sanity, that he's just going to sign up to get dogged out for the sake of money? He okay with it. So everything they're doing, the Colorado Coach Primes for money. Okay. It is what it is, right? I just want to give y'all an introduction because look, the smarts are there. I don't know what y'all waiting on unless you're not here. I'm gonna tell you, I've seen many infiltrators in the stadium. I went to 2 games, and in both games, I sit by people with Colorado gear on who wasn't there for Colorado. You can listen to the comments. In disguise, Trojan horses. Now, when we talked about unified strength in the beginning, when I joined on with them to support the message and the vision, this is exactly what I was talking about. When everybody jumped ship, I said, you gonna be with us or not? Because you got a lot of forces up against Coach Prime for whatever reason, for multiple reasons. More reasons you may be aware of. And they're showing. He got a lot he's up against, and he's overcoming it. And he still can do the miraculous. Y'all see that scrolling at the bottom? For those who've been slow rolling along, it's time for you to join the Unified Strength Movement. Grab you a simple little shirt, hat, hoodie. Because it's a message, y'all. Because, at the end of the day, who gonna be the one who said they was with him? Everybody's going to slowly try to slide back on the bandwagon. And by the time we get to the end, we're going to get some national supporters. We get to the Big 12 and then win it. Oh, my God, we're in the playoff. Oh, it's going to be a zoo. We are in position to do that right now. I'm going to tell y'all something. I didn't really ever. I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't going to lie to you. What's up to y'all in the chat? I didn't see Houston coming. Houston looking good. They probably looking better than some of the other teams I thought were going to do something. Houston looking good. Their team has lost a lot, but they figured some stuff out. Some teams do that. They might be trying to get them a bowl game. And if I'm not mistaken, do Iowa State got to play them? Because you got to think about it. Kansas State didn't see them coming. I didn't see them coming. I'm not a liar. I'm not a switcher up and say stuff on the borderline to switch it. I'm telling you straight up. Houston put together a good game. All right. So if I look at who Iowa State, that's what we doing today, y'all. We getting great. Y'all gonna get into the mind of Greg said it. I got some other stuff I ran across. Right. We don't have no game to talk about, but we do analysis, real analysis, not the ESPN talk, but just looking at it. I don't need somebody to manipulate my thoughts with theirs, not knowing their motive. All right. Iowa State lost to Texas Tech. I did believe Texas Tech could be one of the teams that beat Iowa State. I did. I expect Cincinnati to beat. That was the team that I felt that would beat them before they got a chance to face Kansas State. And I was kind of iffy about Kansas State because I didn't know at what point did I even want them to beat them. Because the reality is, if Houston was undefeated and didn't beat Kansas State, they just put themselves in the championship. So I would not want them to beat Kansas State. But if Kansas State had won out and beat them at the last game, Kansas State would have been in the championship. So I was very sensitive about that game. But now, go ahead and beat Kansas State. Have at it. Have at it now. Right? Have at it. I mean, Kansas State, I would want them to beat Houston because they just further put Houston out. I mean, putting them out. But if they lose before Kansas State, go ahead, Kansas State beat them because they already don't got their second loss, right? All of this, ring, ring, ding, ding. Just make it clear, Colorado got to win out. They had to win out from the beginning. To be honest, you had two undefeated teams. Texas Tech was one of them. Even after we lost Kansas State, it was already a fact that you're gonna have to win out to compete with all them undefeated teams who have to lose multiple games. So that ain't nothing new. But it's absolutely imparable. Regardless of who else lose, that you got to do that at this point because of the fact you don't lost to somebody. Now, the fact that they reckless worse than yours, now it helps you. The fact that Iowa State lost one and kind of tied with you, it helps you. It does. They need to lose. But I'm looking at their schedule, y'all. This thing can go left quick for Iowa State. Iowa State could go from a team that was ranked number 11, undefeated, to what they record now is what 7-1, right? They'll play 8 games. They can easily go from 7-1 to 7-5 or 8-4. I'm gonna be real with y'all. This thing can go left for them because I'm looking at how they play ball. Texas Tech didn't play worth a crap to me. They got them on there so bad. Yeah, the referees were doing weird stuff to try to help. I believe that. That was somebody asked me what I think about Texas Tech. I'm gonna tell you, Texas Tech looked like hot garbage to me. The coaches made several dumb decisions. They made a dumb decision before halftime, that like they want to score instead of running the clock out or at least get a field goal. And then they turn around and let Iowa State get a touchdown with 4 seconds left before halftime. They let them drive right down the field and score. And it's like they had the ball in their possession with this it probably wasn't even 2 minutes left. And if they didn't score, they could at least ran the clock all the way down. Right? They was moving the ball. And this quarterback, horrible. He missed so many throws. He's so inaccurate. Texas Tech quarterback is going to throw a lot of interceptions to Colorado because they're going to throw the ball. He's so inaccurate. With time in the pocket, he's so inaccurate. And his decision making, people open, he don't look. And they celebrating this crowd. That was a garbage game. He throwing interceptions every chance he had a chance. Every time he had a chance to do something, he threw an interception. Throwing interception. All right, they was jumping outside. Somebody said they was jumping outside. At the end of the game, they were on the goal line, jumping outside. Iowa State, they gave Iowa State so many chances to win the game. It helped. The ref was helping them too. That's why I know Iowa State not good, as we thought. I think Iowa State have some injuries or something. They was talking about defense. Something is off. Iowa State is not the team that was there in the beginning. And because of that, they not going to lose one game. I can tell you that because I did not project them. Okay, I said Texas Tech could beat them, But the way they played, Kansas can jump up on them next week. I definitely expect Cincinnati to dump, because see, Cincinnati trying to get them a bowl game. See, Cincinnati was trying to get a bowl game against us. They was what? They in the same position. So Cincinnati got something to play for. They can go thump Iowa State. They better than Iowa State, really. Cincinnati was a balanced team. Their quarterback is better than Iowa State. The running backs probably, they both have, I think Iowa State have a decent running back. I think their defense is probably better than Iowa State. Their defensive front is probably better than Iowa State. I think the secondary is probably better than Iowa. It's probably the same. I think the quarterback's gonna make a difference. I think Cincinnati got a much better quarterback than Iowa State. And you say the Texas Tech defense, somebody say Texas Tech defense won the game. Well, that's saying a mouthful, because their defense was hot garbage. Them boys was throwing the ball in the middle the whole game. Like it was 7-on-7. Nobody was there. They threw the ball on Texas Tech at will across the middle. They was dumb enough to get away from it. Texas Tech defense was not making plays. They really didn't stop nothing. They just show you Iowa State is not that good, because they was throwing the ball all over Texas Tech. I probably, if I cared, I would look at it, but I don't. Look at the passing yardage. They throwing the ball. I was watching the game supporting Texas Tech. I was watching the game supporting Texas Tech. And they was getting on my nerves so bad, I couldn't watch it, because they were playing so dumb. The coach was making the dumbest calls. I remember that time, it was like 4th and 1. They jumped outside or something. There was 4th and 6. He still went for it. And it was like on the 40-yard line. It was down by 1. It was up by 1 point. And they failed to convert on the 4th down and gave Iowa State the ball. That's how Iowa State went right down the field and scored. They went right down the field and scored. And really had a minute and something left on the clock. And dumb Iowa State, y'all know they ain't good. Texas Tech ain't moved the ball in the last couple quarters. And all of a sudden, Texas Tech went right down the field. They went right down the field and scored, got on the goal line. So, because they stopped Texas Tech possession before that. All of a sudden, Texas Tech was going down the field. I think it was kind of in the prevent defense, and they just kind of, maybe it was premature. They were just kind of dumping the ball, and then they got some big plays and got down the field. Iowa State got a little too conservative, I guess, because really they needed to score at that point. They couldn't do a field goal, so I guess they was playing to get a touchdown, and they just gave up too much yards, and Texas Tech ended up running the ball in. Yeah. Somebody said this. I just felt like this. Somebody watching, because not watching, but I'm saying common sense is we had 4 games left. You just gave us another late game. I said, y'all owe us a whole bunch of night games. A whole bunch of day games at this point. So you got to pretty much give us all day games. So they already don't gave Texas Tech game to be 3:30 their time. I guess that's 4 Eastern, but that's they're gonna meet the daytime buffs the same way Arizona met them, the same time UCF, the same time. The daytime buffs gonna get them. The daytime buffs gonna get a hold, and they're gonna meet a team that in Texas is a horrible place to play it at night. They got some heebie-jeebies going on. They throwing taco shells at your head. It's spooky. It's all of that. So they don't have the advantage playing in the daytime. I'll tell you that. They're going to meet the daytime buffs. The daytime buffs gets off on bad starts. Look at the stats. They're going to jump out on you. They run away with the game on you. And you ain't going to catch him. Your quarterback is going to get out there and think he can throw the ball. He's going to throw about 4 or 5 picks. That's how the game going to go. He got the right team. You know how many picks their quarterback threw? Even I'm on Texas Tech, man. They horrible, man. They linebacker couldn't knock down the ball to save his life. All them balls going all over the middle. They're going to have a hard time with Shedeur. They're going to have a hard time with Shedeur. This is the worst matchup for them. That little Iowa State quarterback is a FCS quarterback at best. Both of them, really. They're going to be playing 3:30. They're going to be playing about at noon when they play Utah, which is going to be a home game. You know what happened when we played Utah last year early? Beat the mess out of them. They steal touchdowns off the board. And Shedeur didn't even play. And we really beat them by 3 touchdowns. And we're going to see how much money they lose in the daytime bus. Nah, they be throwing them the tortilla shells at people's head and stuff on the sideline. You know, they do all that weird stuff down there. So none of that going to be going on. Can't throw the shell in broad daylight, get your butt put out of there. Right? It's going to be a different kind of game. And they put themselves in a situation they probably should have saved the night games for the end to try to act like they were trying to make us money. And they know we play because they don't want to see the Buffs at their best down at Texas Tech. They don't want to see the Buffs at their best at Utah. Now, they can try to slide one in at Oklahoma. I feel like you got to give them a daytime Oklahoma because you ain't had them a daytime game all year, dummies. You waste all your little nighttime cards at one time. You wasted it. Colorado ain't had a daytime game all year. The first daytime game they got, they already on schedule for Utah. Everything been at night. They don't play, 4 home games? Well, this would be their 4th home game. They played, use the Thursday night excuse, North Dakota. Baylor was at night. Kansas State was at night, and then turned around and did it again. Cincinnati was at night. 2 late night games. You already don't play 4 nighttime games. And they're gonna have 6. So you gotta play them at noon. Yeah. Oklahoma State at noon. I think we're waiting on Utah. I don't know if they gave Utah yet, but they pretty much gonna have to give them some nighttime games. I mean, some daytime games at this point because you don't overplayed your hand, loading them up with front end. So they really should play all the remaining games in the daytime, which is going to be in the favor of Colorado. It's called being awake. The chemistry is not what won them the game at UCL. The chemistry was the genetic chemistry of your body playing in the time where you normally perform what you're performing. That was the only science that had to do with UCL. We can say the chemistry is great. That's cool. That's any team. But the difference between how they played and even Arizona, there was no chemistry there either. It was the chemistry was in their blood. That I'm not playing while I'm supposed to be asleep or when I'm normally asleep. They play a lot different. The defense plays a lot different. They're a lot more alert. They're a lot more sound. The offense starts a little faster. Everything is different. The only thing is they tend to get bored. They tend to get bored. When they get out on you 33-7, they tend to get bored. We need to put the backups in, somebody who got something to play for, or what? Like, if you bored, this go ahead and step out the field. It's not challenge you no more. Put the backups in and let them do their thing. Because they trying to do it. They trying to score. If you comfortable, you don't feel like you need to score no more, put the backups in. Because they hungry. Put that backup running back in. You see how Charlie came in? He hungry. Go ahead and put him in early. Don't wait till the last minute. Put him in because you got to have some edge. You got to practice finishing the game. You trying to go to these playoffs? You trying to go to the bowl at the championship? You might have to play a whole full game of fighting. You got to have some full game fighting experience. He's like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson knocked you out in the first 5 seconds of the match, and then he got to go and fight 10 rounds. It's like, dang, I ain't used to fighting like this. I'm used to knocking them out. Like, you used to blowing people out and coasting and dancing on the sideline. You know, your endurance ain't there. So whatever need to be done is either you starting out slow, running people down, and yeah, I came back on them, or you blowing them away, and then you're like, you know. So I think the reality is what we're looking at right now. Colorado, which originally is supposed to have been the roughest schedule, like I said, now they are in a situation where the teams who you really they want to play Utah and Oklahoma State and all them back to back. They got it tough. Now those are not the guys, and the guys are on the other side. He don't play, but the guys are starting to not be the guys. Iowa State is not really looking like Iowa State, and I don't follow them like that. I know they have some injuries, and that definitely affect the team. You lose a couple key guys on defense. You got heard them say they had freshmen in and stuff. That can affect it. Everybody knows that. Colorado's lived that. So Kansas is a dangerous team because they got that running athletic quarterback. You don't want to be, If they got a decent defense and they offense moving like that, I don't know if you really want to kind of not be hitting on all cylinders against that. And I know Cincinnati, I just look how they play and they hungry. I don't think you really want to act like. So what I'm saying is, I can easily see, honestly, Iowa State losing at least a couple more games. I didn't originally see that, but I can see them at least losing a couple more games. They finna go into a fight for their life. More than Colorado is. Colorado fighting because they simply just trying to beat the record. They simply just got to seize the moment. But matchup wise, they should blow the doors off of Texas Tech. Matchup wise, they should blow the doors off of Kansas. Matchup wise, they should blow the doors off of Utah. They should blow the doors off Oklahoma State. They should blow the doors off all these teams naturally. Unless they go down there silly, which I don't know how you could be silly. What you ain't unless you happy with making a freaking bowl game. That's why I said shut up with that. Let's let that go. Unless you're happy with a bowl game, you should smell blood right now. I didn't see it, but now I see. I can get in the championship, and if I get in that championship, I can get in the playoff. And I'm talking crazy now because like I feel like maybe I should have said more of the Kansas State game. Like I made a big deal about the lights because I felt like even with the whole situation with Kansas State, I felt like it was lackadaisical because it's almost like we can win this game, no big deal. Everything's in front of us. We only got a few more games to clinch the. Forget all that crap. Quit being a loser. Quit being a low bar setter. If your coach say shoot high, get you behind high. Get you behind out. Get out. Somebody got to know the opportunities in front of them. Do you claim you want to go to the NFL? Do you not know more of y'all will go to the NFL if you make it to the playoff? Do you not know more of y'all will get more eyeballs? Your money is going to be, you're going to get more money being on a winning team. Not only a winning team, but a team that went to the bowl game and won a bowl. Do you not realize that's your money? I guarantee you, if you make it to the playoff, a few more people going to get to the NFL than would have done just in the season before the bowl game. Do you not realize that? That's in high school. The kids who make it to the playoff and deep in the playoff get more looks than they did in the offseason. I mean, in the regular season. It's so many kids who hit the spotlight when they get to the playoff. Like, oh, because you weren't paying attention to him. Now you see him going against the other guy you was looking at, the guy who's the top talent. Now you can really fairly evaluate. They're going against garbage, local, regional talent. He just look all right. I don't know if I really can judge it. He go in the playoff. He thrashed the top number one receiver, top cornerback. I'm like, oh, now I see the true value of him. Your stock go through the roof because now you get to be in a situation where you get to play amongst the best. They got to dog you out all season. Well, you ain't played no SEC team, and well, Travis couldn't do that. Now you finally get to shut them up and say, I did that too. This is where you got a chance to be at. You got a chance to shut people up. This is what it's really about. You got a chance to shut people up, Coach Prime. You got a chance to shut people up. Shador, they don't dog you out all season. They don't do everything they can from before the season to make you not a has. You ain't throwing out one ball, and they say he's not a real leader. But he can't go to NFL like that. He's just good because he's just there because his daddy is the coach. He's not really that good. He can't throw the deep ball. He can't do this. He can't do that. They've been dogging him out before he had a chance to prove. This is your time to prove it. They don't use everything against you because they banked on you and never have a chance to show it. So they can just keep running their silly mouths as if it's a fact. That's what people do. They run their mouth like it's a fact. They got to prove crap. They just get to tell lies, and more lies. They got the microphone. They got the camera. They just lie. Then you ain't got no grounds to defend yourself. They just lie on you. We see it all the time. We see it in politics. We see it everywhere. People get to create their own narrative, and they just go and tell everybody something you can't even defend yourself. Well, guess what? Colorado, you can defend yourself now. You can defend yourself now. Everybody talking all this SEC talk. Everybody in SEC can they butt beat anyway. Florida ran up on Georgia. Georgia lost to Alabama. Alabama got spanked by Vandy. Alabama got everybody getting spanked. Ain't nobody above reproach. Y'all try to make these mythological gods out of these teams. They all the kids. They all got advantages and disadvantages. It's mismatches. You ain't smart enough to evaluate. You think you can compare titles in conference to conference. You think you can compare names to names. Well, really, it's about matchup. You think it's about Colorado versus Alabama, but really, it's about matchup. They got matchup advantages and they got matchup disadvantages. Clearly, else they wouldn't be losing. To who they losing to? Because whoever they losing to had a matchup advantage. It could be positional. It could be scheme. Let me tell you, it's a lot of teams out here that can run through you. Look at Oklahoma State. They can run through you. But when they can't, they lose. I told y'all that before the season started. Everybody figured out how to beat Oklahoma State because they're one-dimensional. I told you they didn't have a quarterback. For all these people who new here, I hope y'all all are subscribed. I hope you ain't gonna keep missing out by not subscribing. If you new, you need to go ahead and subscribe. Go back and look at all my stuff. Go all the way back to January if you must. Have a good time. You don't need no TV because he's lying to you anyway. Right? I told y'all where the matchup issue was going to be at. I told y'all. I said, this is what the matchups is going to be. See, everybody looking at stats, looking at Skip and all these folks and Shannon and listen to all the content creators. They know football, but they don't have the ability to analyze. Everybody's not an analyst. It's what you're describing. It's a matchup issue. If anybody know football, I ain't talking about no football analytics, watching the scoreboards on the ESPN app. I'm talking about no football. I told people why Colorado was dangerous. Exactly why. They want to do all the talking points. They're going to go off the TV talking points. Like, appreciate you. Because it's what we do here. Like, this is my thing right here. What we talking about, I ain't got no notes. This is straight off of just really what I've been saying. Go back and check out everything that we've been talking about all off season. It's all coming together. Everybody laughing and taunting and mocking and talking about you ain't gonna be here. But where they at? Colorado can't do this. Colorado can't do that. This is Colorado's time to shut everybody up. Colorado can't. They only can do this at HBCU level. They only can do the FCS level. Okay, well they in a lower conference. Pac-12 was a great conference last year. You had two of the freaking quarterbacks sent up in New York. Nobody want to acknowledge that. Yet Colorado only lost by a touchdown or less. Almost all the games they lost except a couple. Then they sit up there and cheated every chance they get on Colorado. Nobody want to acknowledge that. Appreciate it. I know people been here. They know. They know. Ain't no changing based on how Colorado play. Ain't no, are we with them and then they lost and we about ready to change our channel name and dump them to be, oh, okay, we can slide back in there because it's safe. My brand ain't built on lies. My brand ain't built on with Colorado because they winning. My brand is built on the truth. If you want the truth, come here. If you want lies, go somewhere else. Because I'm not finna feed y'all no lies. They laughing. I'm telling you the truth. I'm going to tell you the weaknesses. I'm going to tell you the strength. I'm going to tell you where the lies coming from. That media crap y'all listen to don't got you all kinds of lies too in all kinds of ways. This is just football we talking about here. Look how they move. Look how they shake. Look how they move like they shake. Look at all off season. How they mocked and taunt Colorado. And some people is foolish enough to believe it. Yet nobody can answer. Nobody can explain. How do you cover? If they are who they say they are, let's just think about it. This is just common sense. All the C's, elemental P's, ACC, BD3, all the C's and SEC and the Big 10, Big 12, Big 8, Big 4, whatever you want to call it. Look at the reality. I told y'all from the beginning. If this be who they think they are, you got Travis Hunter out on the field. If Will Shepherd be who they say he is, he's still unraveling, really. He can have a big game in the moment now. And they be like, darn. Because he's still unraveling. Then you got LeJounte really starting to come into his own. He's starting to be that go-to guy. Shadour's starting to figure it out. You got these guys ain't never played together. I told y'all it's going to take during the half the season for us to really know what we got. The defensive line wasn't really sacking nobody. Then they went to sacking. Then they leading the conference in sacks. It's like all that starting to kick in. The coach starting to figure out, oh, this is what I got. Oh, the coach is starting to figure out, oh, they pull Wade off the bench. He come in and get 2 sacks. He red shirt. So they gonna save him to the game they want to use him. He only get 4 games. Notice he didn't play in Arizona. Maybe they let him play in Texas Tech. Maybe they let him play, and the bowl games. He's fair game. But they all fair game. Regular season over. Them red shirts can come out and play, right? So you looking at, we got all kinds of weapons they don't even know we got. Y'all, everybody was excited. They put Big Rock, Big Tyler Brown. Now they showing him taking snaps on the other side of the ball. Is he another two-way star? It wasn't doing it for fun. Guess what? I know y'all don't remember when they made that man not play, which is another reason why Colorado lost last year. They lost their number 1 lineman and leader because they decided not let him play. Then they wait to end the season, pull some cricket crap and say, "Oh, we'll give you another year. Oh, you can come back and play now and go to the bowl game after we stole the bowl game from you." Oh, and they did that, and that killed the. You move one person and throw the whole thing out. This man practiced all the way up to about a couple weeks before the game. And they didn't let him play, made him ineligible. But do you not remember that whole offseason? A lot of people don't know because they don't really pay attention like some of us do. That whole offseason, Tyler Brown was on the scout team defensive line. They said he was tearing them up. Everybody watching, who is that guy? Oh, that's Tyler Brown. Tyler Brown been on the other side of the ball. Tyler Brown, you might mess around and see Tyler Brown on the defensive line this upcoming game. Bucky ain't show up for fun because we need depth there. We lost Carter. I don't know when he come back. And then Shadoze, he doing what he can. Barnes, he get tired in 2 plays. So get what? You might see Tyler Brown. They already don't figure out they can use him on a rotational level on the offensive line. Think about it. Mayers don't stepped up. Benson don't stepped up. Probably some other guys don't stepped up. Tyler Brown ain't got to be on offense 100%. Guess what? He can fill in on the defensive line a few plays. Colorado is a dangerous team. They they laughing. What's going on? They laughing. And I'm like, what is this? What kind of deflection is this? What's funny? What's funny? I don't know who said he wasn't not letting him run the ball. You go prove that. Who said that he didn't want them to run the ball? He was one that said he wanted them to run the ball. But clearly they did what they had to do and they run it. So it's irrelevant at this point, because they line had some issues. But what do you expect? You want to put a new team on Dion? Think about this crap now. Be smart. I told you this is a new team, a new coaching staff. They're going to have, the only reason they really started off what they did because they're just more talented. But they wasn't the better team because they're not a team. They just finished fighting each other all the way up to a couple weeks before the first game. Who gonna start? Who the better guy? They wasn't playing as a team. It was selfish individuals like last year. As they started to go through adversity, they started to become a team. As they get through adversity, the coaching staff got more familiar with each other. They got tighter. The players got tighter. That's what we're seeing. This team is really just not coming together. You just gave them a second bye week. They was playing the way they were playing. You want to blame Coach Prime? It's a freaking new team. Use common sense. It's a new team. There's a lot of mistakes going to be made as a coach. He don't really know the players like that. Did you not know, or do you know that he just took a whole portal? They did not talk about a whole offseason about how he built the team off the portal. He lost his whole running back room. Do you not remember that? How would he know who's going to be the top running back? He never played with none of them running backs. None of them running backs played for him before. Charlie was kind of, a little bit, and that's why Charlie started. He didn't know who's going to be the guy. You act like you know he's going to be the guy. He don't know. They never played for him. They never played in his scheme. Now, you're going to see. I felt like Augusta should have been a running back, but they was taking their time figuring it out. They didn't want to practice with him. I don't. I saw that Augusta was the stronger running back from pretty much about that, by UCF. And look how many games that took. This team here is just really coming together. And it's dangerous because usually a team will come together and they'll lose. And then they're like how Houston doing. They'll lose, and then all of a sudden they'll start figuring themselves out, and they'll just make a bowl game. And be like, man, we just could have figured out earlier. We would have been this, that, and that. The dangerous thing about Colorado is they was able to hold off some losses, like at Baylor and stuff like that, win some games. They lost to Nebraska. I feel like they shouldn't have lost to Kansas State, but that was pretty much that's the best time to catch them while they trying to figure themselves out. Now that they are, you got a problem. Because they know what his strengths are. DeJounte has figured out his role. He don't got a new number and everything. That's the type of team that you're dealing with now. And that's dangerous because the team who they was at game 2 is not who they are now. They don't have jailed at this point. They got understanding of each other, and it's only gonna get better and better. That's why they make it to the playoff. They could be even more better because they got more snaps together. As long as they stay healthy, and they have enough depth to stay healthy. They didn't have no depth. Last year they were falling apart. They were hurt me in the season. Everybody falling apart. Yeah, he's stable. He's low to the ground. And I feel like he probably do better than next level even now, possibly. He understands what the offense is doing. So he's like a Travis Hunter on the defensive line. He knows what the other side is doing. He didn't play at a high school. He played all the way up to now at the college level. That's what Big Matt did. Big Matt did the opposite. He got to the NFL and went from offensive line to defensive line to offensive line. People change positions all the time, and they end up being a better fit. They always said that Rock would be a better defensive line. He was the most athletic defense. He was the most athletic offensive lineman until Walker came, who was smaller than him. He was the fastest. He was the strongest. He was the best lineman. That's why the team suffered greatly last year because when he didn't play. It was like losing Travis Hunter in the secondary. That's what he was. Our line struggled because they didn't have him as a leader. And that was a whole piece that they missed from that line for a depth. It threw the whole line off. I think he definitely should have had over 100 yards. You know, and he's working his way up to that. I think the line is becoming more comfortable with the running game. Well, like I just said, comparing what they did 2 years, at game 2 and 3 compared to what they had at game 8 and 9, that don't work for any team. It's definitely don't work for a brand new team with a brand new coaching style, brand new players. It's obvious that they're gonna make some mistakes personnel wise, and they're gonna have a lot more figured out by game 8 and 9. So that's just a given. Only a fool would still be making the same errors, that late in the season. Then that's just not the case. You can figure stuff out. They don't been playing together long enough. So it's not. This is what happens. That comes with the territory. If you're any kind of coach, you're going to get better. Yeah. So I mean, what we're looking at here is Colorado. If we put it all together, they win out. Now we still hearing a theory that Iowa State needs to lose another game from a head-to-head, which complicates the head-to-head from ranking and who they lost and all that. Because the reality is, Iowa State just lost to an unranked team, right? Texas Tech, right? From any kind of ranking, right? They didn't lose to an undefeated team. So wherever all they're gonna weigh in, I've heard all kinds of scenarios. You can see one on my community page, but at level 1, this has to happen for the tie break, and next level, and they go down, and eventually go down to points. All that's cute. I just know that they lost to a team that not the worst team, but Kansas State can't say that because they just lost to Houston. Houston was 3-4 in the conference, record-wise. But I'm pretty certain that the Iowa State we're seeing now, they're gonna lose probably at least a couple more games, if not 3. It's not gonna be a question if they're gonna lose another game. I think Cincinnati is a better team. I think Kansas can give them a run for the money. And all that being said, I think even Kansas State can get them. But I think Cincinnati gonna be a problem for both Iowa State and Kansas State at the end of the day. I think Cincinnati is gonna be a problem. And I think they're hungry. And I think they're trying to get themselves in the bowl game. and they got to win out. And they're just gonna be a spoiler. Um, Good job, Texas Tech. But like I said, Texas Tech did not play a good game. I don't think they coached that. They might feel like it, but it was a very sloppy game. It was hard to watch, especially for somebody who was even rooting for them. It was hard to watch. They made a lot of dumb decisions in my eyes. They made a lot of mistakes. And somehow All State, like they took advantage of it at UCF because they should have lost to UCF. So All State is showing you they on a downward spiral. They're not on the upward spiral. They was here and they going here. And no, and don't be surprised if they lose out of the next 4 games, 3 of them, at least 2 of them. So that whole tiebreak thing is going to be irrelevant. The only thing relevant for CU right now is to focus week by week. Don't be dumb. Your coaches are smart enough. Y'all should be smart enough because you played ball long enough not to go ahead of anybody. It's like a playoff every week at this point because any game you lose, that's it for you. From a postseason, unless you happy for your little bowl game. But if you got a chance to go to the conference title, why wouldn't you take it? It's going to benefit your program. It's going to benefit your team in too many ways worth letting it slide. Worth not letting it slide by you. It's too much on the line for you to settle for mediocrity. And that's why I kept hearing about that bowl game. Because you got a chance. Because these teams, they got 4 games left. There's a lot can happen, and a lot will happen. Even on the playoff level, it's some teams that's going to lose, that's already losing, and it's going to slide you right on down. But guess what? You win your conference title, and you slide, you in a good situation. You in a good situation. They pretty much got to let you in if you 10-2 and you won your championship, which you can do. You just got to get there. And how do you get there? But win every week. Why not? That's your goal anyway, right? I would hope. You're not going out, we're going to win that one, lose that one. Why do you get this far and expect and hope to lose? You should be, if anything, you should be more motivated than ever. Because you didn't see this coming. You just did what you're supposed to do, which was win. And some things happened that made up for the fact that you lost a game you shouldn't have lost. You was better than that team. You played that team before your top receivers down. You had the game and gave it away. That ref cheated the mess out of you at the end. We see him call far less contact pass interference. Yes, we did. But the reality is they got you. They got you. Now you got a second life. Why not take advantage of it? Why not? Why? It's not an option. It's like, I'm going to take advantage of it. That's what it should be. I'm expecting that attitude from Colorado. We're going to see the daytime buffs. We're going to have daytime games. It's going to be fresh. I expect Colorado, honestly, against Texas Tech, 4-5 touchdowns passing. The defense in the middle of the field, LaJohntay Wester's going to have a field day. It's wide open. I don't know what they worry about what's over top, but I mean, just wide open. Between the linebacker and the safety is wide open. Jimmy Horn, Wester should eat the middle of that field for lunch. I mean, they should score 2-3 touchdowns, probably. It could be each. Because it's like they ready to protect the deep ball. You run it deep, but they have no answer for the middle of that field. Even if that running back just kind of go sit in the middle of the field, they have no answer. Then you make them safeties come down and you eat them for lunch. And then the quarterback, he's not good. The only way you lose to Texas Tech is you go play a stupid game. You make a lot of mistakes, and you just go out there and don't care. They're nowhere near as talented as you. They're not even as well coached as you. They have no business being on the field with you. You got to play like that. You can take it for granted. Beat the mess out of them. Do like Baylor did. I see why Baylor did what they did to him. Iowa State does not have a quarterback, and he still threw all over them. He don't know if he want to run or he want to throw. And all them interceptions Iowa State got, I don't know. They just couldn't score when they went as they should have. So I don't expect that to be the issue with Colorado. I really don't. If I were to predict, I expect Shador probably throw down there 400 yards. People trying to run game, run it. But it's gonna be a throwing game because they secondary sucks. It's probably the worst secondary I don't see. That's why, and now we wonder why they having all them shootouts. We wonder why they had to shoot out with TCU. And it's like they defense. Who have they shut down? You remember that first game they played at a low level SCS school, and I had to go on overtime, and it was like 50-40. It was like, let me see, man. I'm gonna look it up. I'm not gonna give y'all no off the top. Let me look at their record. Let me look at their scores. Since I don't know what I'm talking about, maybe I know something. Let me see. They played ACU and they won in overtime 52-51. 52-51 against a low level school. Then they lost to Washington State 16-37. That's Texas Tech. Then they beat North Texas. They beat them 66-21. Then Arizona State, they beat them 30-22. So it looked like they stopped the run better in the past because they beat Arizona State. They stopped the run. Now Texas Tech beat Cincinnati 44-41. Shootout. I think that's when we played Cincinnati right after that. They beat Cincinnati 44-41. That's for those who say Cincinnati can't beat Iowa State. Cincinnati can score. And then they beat Arizona 28-22. Remember how we played Arizona? Then Baylor came in and beat the snot out of them. This is what I expect. Baylor beat them 59-35. Baylor beat them 59-35. Now, I don't expect them to score on 35 points. That'd be ridiculous for the defense to do, honestly. But that's the kind of scoring they need to do. Baylor beat them 59-35. That's the kind of scoring Shedeur should be looking to do. It shouldn't be no get bored. It should be, I'm going to play until I light up that scoreboard. That's what should happen. Then they just did 35-34 against TCU. They lost to TCU. I don't know why I keep flipping that. TCU came back and beat them 35-34. So they gave them their second conference loss right there. They lost to Baylor. Their first game they lost. And then they lost to, so they was undefeated in the conference, right? They lost to Baylor. Baylor beat the mess out of them. Then they turned around and lost to TCU by 1. High scoring, 35 points by TCU. TCU is not that good. The quarterback is not good. And Shedeur scored anything less than 40 points, he playing with them. And I certainly don't expect the defense to give up no 30 points on no Texas Tech. That's be a sloppy game. That won't be the CU who we know. That won't be the CU who think they're going to go to the bowl game. I mean, not bowl game. That will be the bowl game. It will be the CU that we won't expect to be going to no conference championship. Know that. Because we be better than that. We better than giving anybody over 30 points, especially Texas Tech. So as long as Shedeur do what he do, we should beat Texas Tech by a minimum 2-3 touchdowns. That's on a bad day. That's on a playing with your food day. And on a regular day, we should beat them by 3-4 touchdowns. Why not say 5? I'm being modest. You should beat them by at least 3-4 touchdowns. Just looking at matchup, looking at how they play the pass. They probably can stop the run. They look like they said they D-line. They probably can stop the run. The problem in Colorado is Colorado can do something the other teams can't do well. See, Iowa State can't pass well, but it was passing on Texas Tech, but they're not a true passing team. Texas Tech supposed to be a true passing team, but they're really not. With air raid, they're really not. Not true. Colorado has the most vicious air attack by far in the conference, and it's hard to stop. These defenses are not built to stop the number of weapons and the accuracy of Shedeur Sanders. His accuracy and the weapons he got, they don't have an answer for it. I'm sorry. They never did. I told y'all that before the season. And that's why they have the leg to get to the next level, to the championship, to the playoff. I don't even think BYU has the ability to stop them. But it's up to the defense. If the defense be who they are, nobody has a chance of beating them in the rest of this conference here. And we'll see what the championship say. But BYU already showed us some things when they played against Oklahoma State. So we on the ride, y'all. We passed halfway through the season. We are at the Final Four games with a knowing that we got a postseason game already. That's great. Now we can upgrade that thing. Like Coach Prime said, we can upgrade it to a bowl game. Not a bowl game, but a conference game. In a bowl game, conference game, and playoff. Playoff got what? 3 rounds? So that means you got to be healthy. You got to have some endurance. You got to pace yourself. So you got to keep all that in mind. You can't overexert yourself right now with excitement or your body. You got to know, I got to hope a plan longevity. I got to hope a plan all the way into January. That takes strategy. That's why it makes sense to put a Tyler Brown at D-line, give you some depth in the middle. True, put Big Yo-Yo in the middle if you need to. If you ain't going to use him, put Big Yo-Yo. Where you at? Coach Hart, all y'all, Nancy. Put Big Yo-Yo at nose guard. He stopped. If y'all not going to use him on the O-line, put Big Yo-Yo up there. All these comments backed up. I wonder why this junk wasn't moving. What's going on? This thing was not showing me all the updates. They've been sitting on the. I'm about to dump stream, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know now. I'm dumping them. This is the last few weeks of it. Just looking through the comments. I miss so much, yeah. I like this comment, but that's just make the, it's like selling the tickets, you know. He ain't got the same injuries last year. That was a hip last year. Shoot, who knows how many injuries he had last year? He probably had 4 or 5 injuries. He was walking like Thriller the whole season. But that's not the same injury. But it could be one of them. But he had several injuries last year. That's what happens. You getting hit and knocked all over the place. Yeah, that sounds good, man. But they didn't average it this week, did it? Saying that, you know. I just read these stats. You know, you talking about average. Average based off of the game when they scored 60 points against, whatever against Texas State. That's part of an average. Well, what is their average in conference play? How about that? The average in conference play is nowhere near that. They're not scoring like that. Yeah, this is it. Man, I mean, this is what you work for. This is what you go through all the off season for. It's like last year you didn't have a chance to do this. You know? I knew they're gonna move up on the bye week. I didn't know what. That's a good update. I knew they're in top 20, and I knew they're gonna move up because teams lost. That's what typically happens when you often teams lose. You slide on in there. This is it, man. I think if it ain't no better story, we don't all been watching people been here. We've been waiting for this. This is the opportunity. We didn't know how, when, or what, but this is it. You want to prove who you are? You get to prove it, man, in a realistic situation. You coming off your second bye week against nobody left ranked. I don't know if it matters, but I mean, you can beat all these teams clearly, easily, if you do what you're supposed to do. In a way where you shouldn't even exert too much energy, really. Let's be honest. You should be able to go through Texas Tech the same way you went through Arizona. And it should be in a convincing fashion, really. in a convincing fashion, really. Their quarterback's not even as good as Arizona quarterback. Their receivers are not even good as Arizona receivers, and you shut that mess down. You can go through them convincingly, right? You can go through was Utah. They've been. You can go through them convincingly. You went through them convincingly last year in my eyes. Go through them convincingly. You owe them in my eyes. They stole that game from you. You owe them. I don't care what their record is. You owe them. You can go through Kansas. Kansas is a team that's just hanging on. They got talent, but it's not the year they wanted. They don't have some decent games. They can sneak people, but you should go through them. Don't play with your food. Eat it. You should definitely go through Oklahoma State. They got a running back who can run all over you and give you a hard time, for sure. But they're one-dimensional, as always. You shut that mess down, hit them in their mouth. Both of their quarterbacks ain't hit on that. They can't throw. It should be it. This is your opportunity. You don't get no better than this. And, man, imagine this. See, nobody want to see no BYU, Iowa State, no championship. Nobody going to watch that. Colorado in a Big 12 championship. That's going to break all the records right there. In Dallas, oh, can Coach Prime win the big game? They're going to be showing clips of the Celebration Bowl. It's the last time. Okay. That's get to prove yourself in every way. And you mess around and win, oh, my God, the internet going to break. Internet going to break, y'all. Colorado do this. You got every opportunity to kill every narrative. You got every opportunity to just every news story. You thought last year, beginning of the year was something. Let Colorado go on this run and make it to the Big 12. Man, everybody named Mama gonna be. You got and your recruiting, all your Juju. Forget it, man. You gonna wait because you trying to leave early anyway. You gotta make a decision soon anyway. You try to hit the campus in January. Maybe that's why he's making all these trips. He just don't want to say that because saying like every time he make a decision with Colorado, they attack him. So maybe it makes sense for Juju to wait till the last minute to flip. Because all they're going to do is attack him. I just said something. It probably was agreement with Coach Prime and Juju and his parents. The way they attacked them last time, we know you come here. Let's keep acting like you looking while we get you lined up. While we go ahead and get your dorm. We're going to go ahead and get you lined up so you can go here. When you flip, you just come on in. Because look at it. In a month from now, he's trying to hit the campus where he's going. And he's still coming to Colorado. He's probably going to USC. Juju probably already coming to Colorado. Greg said it. He probably already coming. He keep making trips over there, hanging out, hanging with Shador, hanging with everybody, get his stuff ready because he know they gonna attack him. As soon as he say he going to Colorado, it's gonna be a distraction to his high school. What he trying to finish? He trying to go to the state. He ain't trying to deal with that. He said he want to do it before his high school season. Really, the only reason he waiting, if he going to Colorado, he probably want his high school season to end because they're gonna attack him like a dog and be a distraction. So he said, I'm just gonna play dumb and I'm gonna go ahead and finish my high school career. And then I'm gonna flip, and the next day I'm coming to Colorado. They already got it set up because they don't came to Colorado 100 times. They said that man don't came on 4 trips. Who does that and they committed to another school? He already committed. He would be dumb. I'm telling you, I'm in Georgia. I tell him to the face, to his parents, you would be dumb not to commit to Colorado. Because everything Shador have, you finna get it. You finna get the Gatorade. You finna get, matter of fact, he gonna get all the NIL Shador get. He should. Beats by whatever. Prime, Coach Prime, cleats. He gonna get everything Shador get. Shador is the highest NIL athlete in college football. And you replacing him with the same team, with the same coach. You gonna get just as many more NILs as Shador get. Especially if Shador go to the playoffs. Especially if Shador go to the Big 12. It ain't gonna be no next year. All right, gotta win 3 more games to be relevant. All right, they just won 4 games and they won 5 games. Then maybe next year you can win 6. You're gonna be replacing the Big 12 champion, playoff contender. The bar gonna be way up here for the next quarterback. He already don't have for offensive lineman commit. Remember during the summer. That's why they thought he was coming on the summer. Because all the boys who came with him on the trip, all them big time linemen, they committed already. Do you think they're gonna jump? Yeah. That's Central. This is what we looking at, y'all. Sorry, that won't be enough, sir. Glad you're a fan. They showed him this scored 31 this week. I don't know who they scored 31 against, really. Didn't do it against Arizona State. They had a shootout against Texas, TCU, and lost. They had a shootout with Cincinnati. The only game they really saw him put some points up. So I guess you say 6 game average, I guess. Juju gonna be in this good situation. It's irrelevant about him just starting. It's not about him starting. He can start at a lot of places. It's about the whole package. You got to listen to what he and his parents said. The whole package. The whole package. It's not just football. It's the branding opportunities. He doesn't have that at USC. It's him working along Coach Prime and being in the doggone KFC commercials, the new quarterback, and the athletic. It's the whole package that Coach Prime gives him. That's why Coach Prime is a problem. What he did from a branding standpoint for Shador, what he did from a branding standpoint for Travis. Travis was a great athlete, but his branding went to a whole nother level when he got with Coach Prime, learning the ins and outs and how to build a brand for the future. It all comes from being Coach Prime. That's why he was smart from the beginning to go get with Coach Prime. That's what made Travis smart. Travis saw that. Travis went to Jackson State. His brand took off more than he could have ever got. Yeah, he would have been football talk. Oh, he did see that. He probably wouldn't have played both ways. If he did, it would have been barely. He has a whole brand that he's built. And he's number 3 in NIL. You know. The reason why you're not averaging that is because they take the foot off the gas. We talked about it 100 times. And I don't know how you want to see it. If you saw Arizona, they took their foot off the gas. They took their foot off the gas in Cincinnati. They take their foot off the gas in the UCF. They could have easily scored 3-4 more touchdowns. It's not they can't do it. They just, you know, it is what it is. So with that, y'all, we're going to end. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and close this thing. I appreciate y'all coming through. Got a lot coming. So with that, Greg said it. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Enjoy your Sunday.